Welcome back to some more Camp Geek Squad. Yes, I'll be changing the intro at some point. But give me time. As I said, I'm not the best at editing. Now you might be wondering, why have you changed? Why has it taken so long for the video? You said you'd be doing it more often. Well, I am, but I'm doing it every other week. Now that doesn't. There will be some times where I get a video done early and it will be uploaded that day. So like that week. So sometimes you might get an extra video a month. So essentially you're going to get 2 videos a month. Or every other week. The reason is I'm going to be spending more time editing, more time researching, more time writing a script. Now, so it seems like a bit longer because I took a week, in between, and now I'm uploading on Saturdays as that's when most of you seem to be viewing. So I thought, why not then anyway? Plus, the weekend seems like a better time. Now, today's video, as you can tell by the title, is fictional characters who would be great teachers UA. Essentially, any character who would be good at teaching UA. Now, this is going to be part 1. I'll probably do more parts in the future. But we are going to go over the following: Batman, Kakashi, Goku, Iron Man, Pepper Potts, Zoro, and Sanji/Ban from 7 Deadly Sins. Now, we're going to get started with Batman. Yes, Batman. Now, Batman actually has the most courses he would teach, in my opinion, in UA High School. And they would be hand-to-hand combat training, so martial arts. Remember, the only one who actually studied martial arts that we're aware of in Class 1A is Gravity, a Choco, And she only did it to round herself out. You're thinking Deku, Kirishima, Sato, they should be learning martial arts. But Batman would teach them all martial arts. Now, I don't think he would teach them all. He would teach them 3 base martial arts: Krav Maga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and probably another one, like boxing, for example. And those would be the base. And then from there on, it would be whichever suits their personality and their quirk. So, for example, Achako would learn more judo, for example, because she seems to be good at that, especially since she can make people way less, and then apply it. Kirishima would be more boxing, and probably Muay Thai, etc., things like that. He's also going, and that would be for the hero course. Also for the hero course, he's going to teach them battle analysis. Now, battle analysis isn't just going to be, it's not just going to be analyzing battles, right? Well, it is, but it's going to be post-battle analysis. So, after they have a fight, they will record it, and he'll be doing it with their said training spars, and also the actual missions, not the ones where they got kind of like sprung up upon villains, but where they were meant to go out and fight villains and thing. They will have a camera. He'll probably give them a camera and go, "We're going to record your fight afterwards," or send gadgets out to record them, and he will analyze, and he'll help teach them how to analyze their battle and how to improve and how to pick up things. But he'll also teach them pre and during battle analysis. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's quite simple. He's going to teach them how to analyze his opponents before a fight. Now you're thinking, how is he going to predict? Well, it's not. But he will probably look at what type of villains are most common in said areas, in which areas, and where are they, which they're located. For example, Midoriya went to where Gran Torino is. Well, for that, for example, Batman would look at anyone in that area, or where Ida went, for example. Let's use Ida since there's actually villains there. He would teach them how to look at the most common criminals in said area and how to analyze them, but also some of the bigger threats, like the League of Villains. But then he would also teach them how to analyze mid-battle. Now, the person who would get best in this, in my opinion, would be Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya has literally been analyzing quirks this whole time, so he would excel at this. In hand-to-hand combat, I think it would be Ochako, Kirishima and Mina who would excel in these. And that would be hero course. Next is quirk analysis. Now this is slightly different. This isn't battle analysis. This is analysing quirks. Yet again, Midoriya would be an absolute ace in this. And analysing quirks comes from how Batman can analyse, what are they called? Superpowers, superheroes. Both of these, this and the last one, kind of go hand in hand with Batman. And he's made contingency plans to take down every member of the Justice League. He will do so with every hero and villain that's in the My Hero Academia verse. And in UA, he will teach them how to analyse quirks. Their own quirk, how to analyse it more accurately, and how to adapt it based on their personality, but also how to analyse opponents' quirks. Or other heroes' quirks to see how better you can assist them. Now, I'm bringing up Class 1A a lot, but that's because we know most about them. But he would be teaching this to every hero class. And that would be hero course. But the next one up I'm going to talk about is for the support course. The tech course, maze course, which would be creating tech. Now, Batman creates tech. People forget that Batman has created a lot of his own tech. He's not just simply using his company to make said tech. He makes techs and improves upon them. And considering there's literally a course for creating tech, he will teach them how to create tech. But it wouldn't be how to create tech. I think it would be how to make adaptable tech and how to make it more customized to whoever's using it. You know, two people ask for the same items. Batman would be the type of person who would still make differences based on the person's quirks and personalities. So that would be for the support course. But to do with tech, there's actually one that I think he'd use for the hero course, which is how to use their tech. Because they have lots of tech in My Hero Academia, and lots of the heroes have techs. But as we know, canonically, some of them just don't fit the people, which is why he would teach the tech people how to create it. But they also don't really use it the smartest. And Batman would teach the hero course how to use their tech to their advantage. And Batman is prime at this. Batman doesn't overly rely on tech, right? People seem to think he does, but he doesn't. But he relies on it the right amount, and he uses them in the right situation. He's very versatile and can use them. So he will teach the hero course how to use their tech appropriately and when to, you know? And this is marginal stuff, right? This, you're thinking, this isn't going to help. It could be the difference between saving a life and not, or beating the villain and dying. These are all these minute things, and Batman would be the type of person to teach these. Speaking of which, weapon training. Now, I've got someone later on who you probably guessed, Zoro, who we'll get on to later, who will teach specific weapon. But I'll get into that more detail later. But when I say weapons, I mean shurikens, bow staffs, and you're thinking, who's going to use those? Momo. She can literally create weapons at will. Batman would teach her and her classmates how to use weapons, and anyone else who wants to use weapons. But the reason why I say Class 1A, she can make weapons for all of them. People are forgetting, if they got in combat, she can literally create guns for them all. Bow staff, swords, daggers, screamer sticks. All of these weapons, you know, and more she could create. So he would teach them how to use weapons. Because if you gave a lot of them weapons, they would be practically useless, right? I mean, they could do good damage and all that, but anyone somewhat trained or more powerful than them would lose. And weapons would be more for opponents they can't face with just their regular quirk, or especially if they have a low damage quirk. Coda, I think that's the person's name, the one who can talk to animals. Useless in a fight by themselves. But you know what? If they can do hand-to-hand combat and use weapons created by Momo and their tech and talk to animals, that would complete them out. Batman's going to improve your strengths, right? But he's also going to round you out so you don't have any major weaknesses. And that would obviously be for the hero course. Now, the next two are also for the hero. The next one is stealth training. Now, this is the hero course, this is how to go undetected, but this is also stealth takedowns, right? How to take someone out quickly and quietly. How to go unnoticed, lurk in the shadows, things like this, which is great for spying and information gathering, which is crucial. Literally, they had to send a double agent, Hawks, to get information. So what if Hawks was trained by Batman? What if Hawks was trained in stealth? He would be able to get a bit more information without being noticed. Next up, now, I'm going to do two of these at the same time. Strength training and endurance training. Now, endurance training, I'm classing as two things. Strength training is just at the gym getting in shape, becoming stronger. But it's not just, let's get these biceps. It's getting all your muscles, that are used in combat and for heroing and for rescuing, all to prime ability. Getting you sharp and strong. Now, endurance training, this is two things. I'm taking this as both how long can you keep being a hero for? How long can you keep fighting for? How long can you keep doing your rescues? Endurance, like endurance marathon, that type of endurance. But the other type of endurance is pain endurance. Because as a hero, you may be durable, right? For example, Kirishima is more durable, so he can take more damage. But Froppy isn't as durable as Kirishima. So, but if he trains them all how to take more pain and keep fighting with pain, you have a broken arm and broken fingers, well, here's how to keep fighting. Now, yet again, I think Midoriya is going to ace this. A lot of these are in Midoriya's favour, because he's literally breaking his bones most of the time. Anyway, early on, and he was still able to continue. But imagine if they were all like that, but even better than what we see Midoriya doing, where they don't wince much. Wince, put it in a position where it doesn't get hurt anymore, carry on. This is important things that people forget about heroing. You have to be able to fight through immense pain. Now, obviously, people like Kirishima who have a defensive quirk, a durability quirk, will get hurt less. In terms of, like, for example, say someone punches you with this, two people, Kirishima and Ochaku, with the same amount of force. Ochaku will feel that pain more. Heck, you could use Denki, as well, if people are saying, well, she's a girl, she's tough. But you could use two guys. Because his quirk is durability. But also at the same hand, he will be at the front line getting in the way more, so accumulatively he'll pick up more. But if he can keep fighting, and if they could all keep fighting through the pain, it'll be great. Now, I'm going to say law training is going to be for the hero management course. And I'm saying hero and management course because I remember people forget there's a management course, which is like scouting and business people. They need to know the law. Heroes and the managers need to know the law as to if they ever get in trouble. And also they know that you need to know the laws. If you want to be a vigilante or a hero, you need to know the laws as to not break them, but also to know what's a crime and what you legally can and can't do. Encasing the environment. This is hero course. This is simply learning how to take in your environment and using it to your advantage. If you watch CW, the Arrowverse, the CW Arrowverse, Green Arrow literally tries to dig this into Barry. Now, for the management course, I've got talent scouting and running a business. Now, from my knowledge of management, they are the people who will be scouts. They will manage people. They will work for the hero agencies. They will keep the business side of it ticking while the heroes do the work side. It will be like an agent / manager at a football club. And this would be for the management course. And then you're wondering, how would Batman know this? He's a CEO of $1 billion company. I think he knows how to run a business. What about talent scouting? Have you seen the amount of kids this guy's adopted and trained into lethal weapons? This is why he'll be the perfect teacher at UA. What made me pick him is not that he's one of my favourite characters. It's the fact that he's turned teenagers, like 11 and 12-year-olds, into weapons that can take down armed thugs who are adults. Like people who are aged 20 to 40 with weapons and have been doing this for ages, and he's turned kids, like fresh out of diaper kids, to kill them. Well, not actually kill them, unless your name's Damian Wayne. But that was by your grandfather who taught you that, and your mother. And then the last 2 courses are gym sessions. Now, gym sessions are, yet again, just going to the gym, But these sessions would be less of like the strength training where it's like not necessarily at the gym, but like getting you strong. This would be every week you go to the gym, right? We know canonically they go to the gym. But I think Batman would teach them how to personalize their schedule, how to personalize their workouts, and how to work out correctly and with correct form. And this is why second years and third years don't have this anymore. They have a time where it's just, this is your gym time, and then you can go, like you all have to go this time, and the rest of it you can go whenever you want. Because in the first year, it's beaten into you. Now, who's up next? Right, we spent a long time on Batman. But next up, we've got Kakashi. Now, we're going to skim over this because Kakashi, hand-to-hand combat, right? He's a taijutsu expert. He's fought evenly with Obito. He's Might Guy's rival, and he's taught Naruto, who is probably, arguably, the best taijutsu user in all of the Naruto-verse. What next? Weapon training. Kakashi doesn't use a weapon. His father used a sword. He used a sword early on, like a short sword. I don't know what the actual terminology is. I've tried looking for it. I can't find it. That's probably just me being stupid. And shurikens, kunais, those type of things. Now you're thinking, they don't use it. Well, what if they had the opportunity to learn how to? And even if they don't, well, look. Midori has picked up a stone and has been able to launch it, hitting that villain, saving a child. Boom. Battle analysis, quirk analysis. Similar to Batman with these. Why? He's got a Sharingan, he's used to analysing battles, and in Narutoverse you have to analyse your opponent's jutsus, right? So replace jutsus with quirks, same thing. You see, strength training, we've literally seen him climbing up a cliff one-handed. So, of course. Stealth training, he's a ninja. What else do you want? And, and that's that. Goku, the main shonen protagonist. The grandfather of the big 3, which never makes sense. If anything, he'd be the father of the big 3. Not relevant. Goku, energy control. Now, when I put energy control, I'm thinking, there's not ki in My Hero Academia, but some of them who have energy, he would teach anyone with energy-based people how to control their energy and how to use it more effectively. But I also think he'd teach them how to meditate and be more calm and collect inner energy. Now, I would say ki, but like not ki as in like his universe ki, but like ki as in a way to calm themselves down and feel more energized, because meditating really does help. Combat training. He's a martial artist. He's fought god-level beings, gods of destruction with combat. So he'll be very skilled at that. Endurance and fitness training. If you know Goku, you know his whole shtick is, I'm going to get stronger. Let's train in 0 gravity. No, you know what? Let's train in 20 times gravity. 100 times gravity. And things ridiculous like that. Next up, Iron Man. Now, Iron Man... by the way, all of those from Kakashi to Goku are all hero course training. Now we're going on to Iron Man. Iron Man, support. He'd be the support course teacher for tech. He would teach them how to create tech and how to create AI. And he would be the best. He would be the main support group. He would be so good, and Batman will have a huge impact, but Iron Man would be so good at this that the support group becomes almost as popular as the hero course. He will also teach them how to create hero gear, like specifically gear for certain heroes. Management course, he'll teach them business training, and hero management course, law training, similar to Batman. Now, the one that most people would be surprised about, Pepper Potts, Iron Man's girlfriend, wife. She would teach them media training for the hero management course and interviews, how to deal with interviews. And it would be better than the likes of Midnight and Mount Lady teaching them, because that's her actual job. Her job is to do these things for Tony Stark. And considering she's Tony Stark is Iron Man, she's really had to step it up. So she would teach them how to do that. And the next, I mentioned him earlier, Zorro. Zorro would teach sword training. Now, I think sword training would probably be extracurricular. And they'd be taught the basics by Batman, but for more in-depth and proper swordsmanship training, where you can be taught one sword all the way through to bloody 52 swords, I don't know. It would be an extracurricular activity, and I would think Batman would probably recommend a few of the people to learn it, and I'm thinking Momo. I'm thinking maybe Kirishima. Who knows? Especially if Kirishima can go almost all-out attack with it, ignoring the defense because of his quirk. And then next up, Sanji from One Piece and Barn from Seven Deadly Sins would be teaching cooking and nutrition. Now, nutrition would be hero course and extracurricular. Cooking would be extracurricular. And you're thinking, why would this be a hero course? Well, do you know how many? There are like 2 in Class 1A alone, and just Class 1A, who need to eat the right food. Like, need to eat food a lot. Satsu, because it's part of his power, and Momo, it's part of her power. But also, you've got Tetsu, you've got the metal version of Kirishima, Tensu. He needs to eat a certain amount of iron. So if they know how to cook, it will help with their training and everything. So these are the people I think would be great teachers in UA High School. Now, if you know any more, if you have any ideas from anyone from fiction, please let me know. I was thinking of Percy Jackson at some point, but I'll get into that in another video. In fact, we'll get into and more in part 2 at another time. Now, I've got a few video ideas coming up. Some are Percy Jackson, some are non-Percy Jackson. I'm thinking along the lines of another Dreamcast, you know. I'm thinking of, like, the music I used to do, you know, music video for Percy Jackson. I'm thinking, how powerful would certain characters from Naruto be if they didn't die young? Hashirama, Tobirama, Itachi, Minato. Like, Minato died at like age 20-something. Same with Itachi. Could they have gotten to Madara and Hashirama level or above if they lived long enough? Similar with Tobirama. So join us for more geeky content on Camp Geek Squad. Until next time, peace!